Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Lessons Learned, the dumbest thing I've ever done with money. My name is Suzanne, and I am the head coach at G.R.A.C.E Financial Coaching. And today we are talking with my friend Saskia Michel. I am so happy to have her here. Saskia is also a financial coach and a business strategist. She enjoys helping couples and individuals achieve their goals and win with money by shifting their mindset. Saskia also loves to help startups and small businesses develop greater awareness of their expenses to help increase their profit, which I absolutely love. How are you, Saskia?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Suzanne. How you doing?
Good, wonderful. I'm so happy to have you here today and get your expertise on especially the business side of things. So let's start there. You're a financial coach and you work with couples and individuals one-on-one, but you also have a really strong focus and background in the startups and the small business. So let's talk about what you do for those small businesses.
Yes. Thank you, Suzanne, for having me. Absolutely. I'm a financial coach, and this is why I get the opportunity to connect with you. And I work with startup. We say now we're a little bit focused on startup small businesses because we realize when someone wants to launch a product or maybe do a coaching business, they mostly focus on the branding, marketing side, but they
Mm,
forget all the expenses, all the costs, that occur with that business. So now we sit down with the client and let them know how to look after their revenue and how to decrease the expenses. And the other thing we don't need to forget is the taxes. So how we
yes.
need to set up a portion to pay ourselves and also to pay taxes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the taxes are so important, but I think slightly more important, just along the same lines is paying yourself.
Yeah.
I can't believe the number of small business owners I have spoken to, and very recently too, people who are not setting a salary for themselves. They are not paying themselves regularly. They are making a chunk of money and then putting, instead of paying themselves a chunk, they're putting it back into the business. Why is it important to set a paycheck for yourself?
It is important not only to know how much you are earning.
Mm.
And then the other thing, it's important when you fix you a portion to take care of yourself, because when you keep now using the business money, it can lead people, to, I'm not saying filing for bankruptcy, but also to have some loss because you don't, I would say, make the difference between personal expenses and business expenses. So it's really good to do the separation. You have a business account and a personal account, and then also some people do not realize that they will might want to get on a loan. What we don't really encourage that, but for some businesses, they want to get some grant, they want to get
Yeah.
some opportunities, but they will ask you what is your three last month of statement, big statement. So they will not want to read that you stop at Publix to get some groceries. They would not want to see, so we really want that to see, okay, if we buy some chairs, it is an office chair, if it's some equipment for the business, they don't want to just pay for your kids tuition or anything like that. So it's really important, and it really gives you a better management system
Yeah.
when you separate those aspects.
Yeah, one of my favorite words that I remember learning in college was commingling.
Yes, this
And
is
when
the
you're
word.
commingling, right? I know it's a big, scary word that people don't always know what it is, right? But that's what that is, right? What you just described is really kind of commingling. Um, Not necessarily commingling personal income and the business income, but now you're commingling the business expenses and the personal expenses.
Yeah.
And that's where someone like you can come in and help break that back out
Yeah.
again.
And the other thing I realized, especially for, I know now it's the word, a 9 to 5, epic exit. People want to get out of their corporate jobs, but what we don't realize, when we used to work over there, at those jobs, our benefits, our taxes, they all pay right away. But now, because you are making that money, you don't realize that you need to set up the same system for yourself.
Yes.
And it can be double because at the beginning, your employer pay for you. So now you are the one responsible for everything. So you might be paying more for yourself and then for the business. Eventually, if you have to hire people, you need to know what type of employee you're going to hire. It's
Yes. Oh
really
my gosh,
important.
so important. I know. I always joke around with people. I'm like, I'm the worst employee I could possibly have hired, so I'm never bringing on anyone else.
I'm pretty sure you are awesome.
So let me ask you about the so you also do you love working with the businesses and the startups, but you will work with people on their personal finances. So
Yes. Yes.
couples, individuals, who do you normally work with when it comes to the personal
Absolutely,
side of coaching?
absolutely. I love working with couple because and it's like what I experience, I kind of understand and relate to those people. Some of them will tell you, oh, my how do I put my husband on board? How do I have my children understand that sometimes it's not that we don't want to buy, but there's a system we need to apply, or maybe there's a time there's something we cannot do, but we want to get our financial freedom. So it's really important to sit down with the couple and see what is the situation. Most of the time, we will think that it's because people are broke, or they don't have money. Some of them are earning good money. They
Oh
just
yeah.
don't know how. It's what we call the lifestyle quip. As soon as your income increase, your lifestyle increase as well, and then you keep spending money at the same time. So it's
Yes.
really important. And the other thing I forget to mention, I also teach financial literacy at my girls school. So after they do, yes, they have a after school club. So it's a 6-week program for an hour. So I teach those fourth, fifth, and sixth graders. So I started this program. I call it Youth Money Matters.
Oh,
So I teach them about budget, purchasing power, and the money skills, and also to how to set up smart goals. And those kids, they are amazing. They
oh
are
my gosh.
amazing. And what we don't understand, our kids, they look up to us. Like they watch what moms or dad are doing or saying, the way that we react with money. They replicate the same situation,
Oh
and
my
they're
gosh, that's
amazing.
so amazing. Um, the number one question I ask when I first start working with people, or before I even start working with people in my consultation, is what was money like for you growing up? And I have heard some unbelievable statements.
Yes.
Some people just look back and they say, "Oh, well, I guess we always had food on the table," and they never really thought about it. Some people, I had one client once say to me one time, money was a tool with which we were beaten with in our family,
Okay.
and it was so
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
um, it really impacted that person's ability as an adult to have a
Exactly.
healthy relationship with money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you are doing the Lord's work with those fourth,
Absolutely.
fifth, and sixth
Absolutely.
graders. That's amazing. And
Yes.
they're so much smarter than we give them credit for.
Exactly. And the
Yeah.
funny thing, the first session that I have, because we I studied it for the spring semester, so fall winter semester. So I have 2 sessions, and then I'm taking to do it maybe for the summer, but wait until the fall to continue. But what I've learned is, for the first session, my daughter was in the class. So which means you cannot teach those kids what you don't apply home, because those
Oh,
kids, they tell you the truth.
yeah.
They will tell you, no, it's not happening. They will tell you, yes, we're doing that. So literally, yes. And that was the experience that I have. Yeah, that was really a wonderful experience.
That's amazing because you know what? It's not just a cliche phrase. Kids do say the darndest things, and I'm
Yeah.
sure your daughter would have loved to call you out and say, "You're teaching that, but we're not doing that at home.
Yes, ma'am.
I I didn't get paid for my chores last weekend.
Yes,
What's
ma'am.
going on?"
Oh, she told me that. She told me that. I say, no, you live in the house. It's your house too.
That's awesome. That's amazing. All right, Saskia. Well, before you were teaching all these adorable little kids and these adults how to use money better, um, let's talk about your history. So, Saskia, what was the dumbest thing you've ever done with money?
Susan, that is a big question. What was the dumbest thing? Okay. So before I really dive into the dumbest thing, let me, go back to the history where I'm from. I was born and raised in Haiti. So the economic system is a bit different here.
Mm,
You still get the opportunity to have a loan, but most of the time it was guaranteed by your job. For instance, I have worked for 10 years in a bank. So if I would like to have a loan, it would guarantee, automatically by like my employer. So it's
yeah.
like they loan me a money, but they just take pay it back when they pay me. So it's like they take that money for a certain period of time. So just still way people can do loans, but it's a bit different here in America. So 6 years ago, my husband and I, my family, my two kids at that time, we travel here and we move from Haiti to the US. But the funny thing, or I would say that was a cultural shock because we weren't aware about the credit score. Now
Um,
everything you need to do, you have to apply. You need that credit score, and it was a big thing for us. Um, for instance, we remember the first thing that we do, like we purchased a car that was with cash, but from a family member. So now to lead to the dumbest thing, the car has a few minor reparation to do, but my husband and I, we are talking and say maybe we might need to change a little, later on, but let's go and kind of browse, kind of know what is the criteria to purchase a car somewhere. So we went on the morning after we dropped my first daughter to school. So we went to a car dealership. So
mm,
just in the idea to look and to ask question if you would like to purchase a car, what is the requirement? I tell you, since that morning, we sat down and we walked off with we that was a used car at that
hmm
time, the same day. And
Oh,
then we did not know what to do. So a few months later, we the car keep having issues.
oh,
So and then my husband went back because this is the place where we do the maintenance, everything. So we think everything is okay. So when we went back and they tell us, oh, you have a transmission problem and it will cost you $5,000.
oh,
Say we don't have that. Why we have insurance? Because we don't know, about insurance. So we think everything will be paid right away. And they say, no,
right,
ma'am, you
right,
have insurance to protect your car, but you did not have the gap. I say, how do I know I do have, warranties, everything if you do not explain me right?
right.
So we end up not like the situation was to refinancing another car.
Oh,
So what happened by refinancing a second car is they they put you on a limit. They tell you because you already have a negative equity,
yeah,
so you have to get a car who has the double price.
yep,
So we end up with another car. And
yep.
then the deal wasn't really right, so we canceled everything and we went to another place
Oh,
to
no.
have I'm telling you, we went to another place to have another deal. But sometimes we feel that it's about people will tell you, oh no, you have a good interest. The first time we financed, because we didn't have anything, no credit score, anything, our interest rate was around I would say 23%.
Oh,
Yes. For like a
oh,
$5,000, $6,000 car the first time. And then
right.
now when we refinance the other one and we have the equity issue, so we finance, I guess, with a 13%, but we
Oh,
end up like a $24,000 car.
mm,
Like, because they add the negative equity for the amount and
right.
all the fees, everything. So that was okay. So 2 years later, we are okay paying that car payment, everything. 2 years later, my husband, like we were doing we usually do the maintenance at a closed place.
Okay.
And that closed place is a dealership car. And one time my husband scheduled the maintenance, and we keep receiving call. Hey, we have a good deal. Would you like to do this? I didn't pay attention. The day where he went to do the maintenance, he called me. I'm waiting for you. I said, for what? So we went there. Okay, so I drove and I met him, and we financed. We financed another car that time. I
Oh
was
no.
so pissed off. Yes, yes, because the I would say the game they play, it's
Yes.
mostly that you used to have a 13% interest rate. So now we are giving you a 5% interest rate. So you see the math, but you don't really, I would say, ask yourself how much
Yeah.
money I'm adding more.
Right.
Because those
It's
finances, you add more
yeah.
time and more money.
You're right, exactly. And
Yeah.
so that 5% looks great, right? It feels great. Oh my gosh, we went from 23% to 13% and now it's 5%. By the time they are finished with you, you're thanking them, right? But
Yes,
because of the emotion and the psychological aspect of all of that,
exactly.
it's one of those things that we've learned, right? When we went through our financial coach training, you need to sleep on this stuff,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
because your emotions are so high. And these
yes,
salespeople
yes.
are
And they are
salespeople because
pushing.
they're
Yes,
good at it.
yes, yes. The emotion, and I would say the need as well that you have. So
Yes.
they are all combined because that time, okay, I don't have any car. I have kids. I need to drop them to school. I need to go to church. I need to go to my work. We have so many issues coming at that time. So you
Yeah.
say, okay, so let's do it. Let's do it just to have a relief. But when you look back, when you sit down and say, no, but I have more money. And then so it's kind of, I would say, a sad joke,
Yeah.
but I try to not do it anymore with my husband. Every year I say, okay, I should be done with that call. I should be done because the fact that you refinance, you take more time.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right, right.
more
And
time.
then, right, one of the things that we also teach our clients is when you're paying off a debt like that, depending on how many other debts you have, obviously, this might be one that's a little further down the line, or
Mhm.
this might be the only one. And the more you throw at it, the faster it's going to go. But
Yes,
that can only happen if we have all these other things, your budget in place, your expenses are reasonable. We can only pay that off faster if we have the ability and we're paying attention.
exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So if you guys could go back in the past and for both of these cars, would you do anything differently?
I will do differently. But what I've learned as well, I want to say that on our third way to refinancing, we they have the financial guy, I don't know the term, the financial officer.
Hmm.
He make us aware of something. Every time you get I would say you pay off early a car, you have a form to fill out, like the cancellation form. So we didn't know about that. So he was telling us, yes, guys, because you pay off your both cars early, you need to go and fill out the cancellation form. They can refund you your gap money
Oh.
or any other premium that you have. And I'm telling you, that was the third dealership we learned from him. And the
Oh.
same time, at the same moment, he told us, and I said, can I have a copy? He print out, I said, I need 2 copies. He print out the copies. We followed the information and we drove straight away to the first dealership and to the second one. And I can tell you, Susan, in less than a month, we received $2,500.
Oh.
And
And you
nobody
know
knows.
what?
And when I look back and I read like the later, like the later telling you everything is pay off,
Yeah.
at the bottom they tell you you can contact your car dealership and to see if you have any refund everything.
Oh.
But those people, when you do the sale with them, they don't tell you that.
Right, right.
So
Our friend
even
our
though I
friend
was mad
Laura,
at that time, but that was the good information that I
yeah,
have.
our
So
friend
I know,
Laura
yes,
is very
yes,
impressed that you
yes,
got refunds.
yes, yes. And so to answer the question, I will really make sure that I know what I'm doing, what type of car I'm looking for, and how much money I can afford.
Yeah,
So I have
definitely.
to say, because sometimes when you go there, and this is my experience, when you go there, you have a limit, an amount on your head, on your
Yes.
mind, but they try to tell you how much you think you can afford, how much I don't like the pushing way.
Yeah. The sales
And I
technique.
would like,
Yeah.
and I would say, I will apply the walkaway power. I've
Yes. I
learned that.
love that.
you you and I, we learned that word,
Yes.
the
Yes. We
walkaway
know that
power.
very
Because
well.
when you know that you can decide, yeah,
Yeah.
you make
For
better choice.
yourself. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The one thing I would say though, Saskia, is I grew up, we were not Dave Ramsey people. We were not Susie Orman people. My parents just had a decent sense of what to do with their money. They were raised to pay cash for a lot of stuff. So I've never financed a car. So, as much as this experience was painful for you, you have been through this and you can impart that knowledge onto your clients. I've actually never had the
Yeah,
experience of financing a
yeah,
car.
yeah,
So, I'm a little jealous that even though this was a miserable experience,
yeah,
you now know and you can pass that information on to your
yeah,
clients,
yeah.
personal or business clients, and let them know, hey, we're about to pay off this car early. Go to the dealership,
Go
get
and
that
get,
form
yes,
printed, go pull out that letter that says there might be a refund and go see if you can get any money back. Definitely.
exactly,
Definitely.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
That's
absolutely
so
true.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the kids get a little older and they're ready to start driving, you can explain this whole story.
They know, they know, they
Yes,
know.
yes. Yep. And Laura also, our friend Laura also says when you go to buy that car, make sure you remember the taxes, the registration, and all that stuff. My goodness. I mean, depending on what
But did
state
you
you're in,
know, Laura is right, but did you know, and I guess we don't pay attention when you finance a car,
right?
even though you put a down payment, okay? When you look at the details, you also finance the taxes. You
Yes,
also finance the registration fees. You finance everything. You will
everything.
take in yourself, okay, I'm putting 2,000 down, 3,000 down. It will be like, it will cover all the fees. No, like the registration. No, you just put a down payment, but
Yep.
it finance everything. Like
That's a
a
great point.
$100, $1,000, it just came for you, maybe a 2,000 at the end. You
Yeah,
finance
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, and depending on what state you're in, some of
Exactly.
those registration and taxes, because some states have income tax, some states have higher property taxes,
Hmm.
and they're gonna get it from you somehow.
Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Well, Saskia, thank you so much for being with me today. It's been great to chat with you. I
That was
have
so short.
all Yeah, I know. It went so fast, right?
Yes.
We have all of Saskia's contact information in the show notes below. So if you guys need to get a hold of her for personal coaching or business strategy session, please reach out to her. And thanks again for watching another episode of Lessons Learned, the dumbest thing I've ever done with money. And thanks again to our guest, Saskia.
Thank you again, Suzanne, for having me. And have a great day, everyone. Have a great day,
Thank
Suzanne.
you.